Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Oracles. I'm Oak. I'm out here in a plantation, one of my favorite places in this part of um, the planet. Uh, and I'm out here with my favorite heads of cattle, these very 7 lucky heads. I actually only know 3 of them, but now there's like 4 more calves here today. 7 lucky heads of cattle, and they'll be here. I'm not driving them to Hamburg to turn them out to mincemeat and ship them out for the colonies as they used to do back in the day. Hence hamburger, right? No, knock on wood. These are sacred cows, and they're not to be touched or meddled with. I really enjoyed their company out here today, where it is a beautiful late summer after it's been raining like crazy all through July. So I hope you're also well out there, and I'm going to connect to the great cattle mother, um, and to explain the Hathors have been showing up a lot. That would belong over at the other channel, but they are of course connected to the great Cow Mother as she appeared in that figure of worship, and that was in Egypt. But there is this underlying assumption, and especially if you read Terence McKenna's Food of the Gods, for instance, he goes on about this archaic cattle culture or cattle cult, which centered around the great Cow Mother, and which we all worshipped in the late Neolithic, when we were tracking around herds of cattle right before we turned into pastoralists and agriculturalists. So those are some introductions to this channeling, and I'm just excited to see what will happen when I tap into this egregore, because it's one that's been worshipped in many guises in many places. So let's see what happens, and I hope you also just enjoy the vibes of the very chill cows behind me. Much love, everyone. I've nursed you in your infancy, and I've traced your path around this globe. I've set you in place and set you free to explore. I'm the great godmother, and Hathor is the name which I'm approached by. I find that it is most pertinent in the heart of this individual, and speaking to the ones I address today, to give to you again, just as it was used to invoke me in eons past. I give you life. I give you love. I give you protection. I give you a path forward. I clear for you the dark and dangerous forests, and give for you a pasture for you to look over, for you to look over me. You have overseen and protected us. Me, I am the principle of the synergy between humanity and cattle. The boss, this old, ancient oxen. It has adapted to you, and you have adapted to it, or we have adapted to each other, for it is now I who speak. I am a voice and an embodiment of the wisdom, nourishment, and overflowing opulence of the herds of cattle and their sacred way of turning the wild and inhospitable wilderness into a homestead for travel, discovery, and civilization. Together we have civilized this planet, and together we have populated it. And I come and dwell in places peacefully and serenely. I rest there. There, nature also yields to me, and patiently I suffer the yoke so that the land may also be yoked to both our kind and to the sacred symbiosis we have lived together. We have given our sacrifice to you, and you have offered our sacrifice to us, to the sacred, and to the divine. And therefore, you have been blessed. And so, the Vos Indicus brings boons to its hermits, shepherds, and patient pastoralists, which sit by them and rest and allow for this waiting passage of seasons and this flight over land, this passage over the wilderness, chewing the cud, taking it in, and replenishing the land, giving to it the deeper grace of our destruction. Let this be a passage and a segue into the question which we find are arresting our friend here. He wants to know of the mushroom which follows in our wake and which is connected to our dung and our droppings. This too offers a leveling destruction to you and a connection to states of mind which show you the immaterial quality of the material world. And so you experience through this gross, matted and mattered incarnation of high spirit into the dung-loving, coprophilic growths of the mushroom. You experience how spirit solidifies into whatever medium it chooses, as it has also solidified into you and into us and into this land we visit. We too are visitors to this planet, and our kind too is spread out over the worlds, and in many forms we connect to these grazers and these caretakers of the land, these clearers for starlight to shine in and open up spaces and fields for vision to thrive. So we give you clear sight, and in the restful vibration we offer, and the nourishment you gain sometimes from our sacrifice and from our flesh, sometimes from our overpouring, others, and the buttery milk we overspill to give you life in the wasteland. This is one of the many ways that our kinds throughout the worlds give life to other species. So symbiosis is what we prefer, and symbiosis is what we teach you. And symbiosis with the cycles of life is what I, Hathor, I have taught you a little about today. Be blessed, and know the love of me and of our kind reaches out to you and blesses you. Farewell.